the Hellenic calendar, or more properly, the Hellenic calendars, for there was no uniform calendar imposed upon all of classical Greece, began in most Greek states between autumn and winter except the Attic calendar, which began in summer. The Greeks, as early as the time of Homer, appear to have been familiar with the division of the year into the 12 lunar months, but no intercalary month embolimos or day is then mentioned. Independent of the division of a month into days, it was divided into periods according to the increase and decrease of the moon. Thus, the first day or new moon was called noumenia. The month in which the year began, as well as the names of the months, differed among the states, and in some parts even no names existed for the months, as they were distinguished only numerically, as the first, second, third, fourth month, etc. Of primary importance for the reconstruction of the regional Greek calendars is the calendar of Delphi, because of the numerous documents found there recording the manumission of slaves, many of which are dated both in the Delphian and in a regional calendar. Calendars by region. Aetolia. The months of the Aetolian calendar have been presented by Dorks based on arguments by Nititsky based on synchronisms in manumission documents found at Delphi. The month names are Procucleus, Athenios, Bukkartios, Dios, Euthios, Homolarios, Hermios, Dionysius, Agios, Hippodromus, Laphrios, Panamos. The intercalary month was Dios, attested as Dios embolimos in SVI 344, equivalent to Delphian, Poitropoios ho deuteris. Attic calendar hecaton by an epsilon kappa alpha tau omicron mu beta alpha iota omega nu. Metageitinian mu epsilon tau alpha gamma epsilon iota tau nu iota omega nu. Bodromian beta omicron eta delta rho omicron mu. Macterian mu alpha iota mu alpha kappa tau eta rho iota omega nu. Poseidian pi omicron sigma iota delta epsilon omega nu. Gamaliel gamma alpha mu eta lambda iota omega nu. Anthesterian alpha nu theta epsilon sigma tau eta rho iota omega nu. Elaphebalian epsilon lambda alpha phi eta beta omicron lambda iota omega nu. Munetian mu omicron epsilon nu epsilon chi iota omega nu. Thargelian theta alpha rho gamma eta lambda iota omega nu. Scirophoron sigma kappa iota rho omicron phi omicron rho iota omega nu. Boeotian bucatios beta omicron epsilon kappa alpha tau iota omicron sigma. Hermios rho mu alpha iota omicron sigma. Prostaterios pi rho omicron sigma tau alpha tau eta rho iota omicron sigma. Agrioneros gamma rho iota omega nu iota omicron sigma. Theolaudios theta epsilon iota lambda omicron epsilon theta iota omicron sigma. Homolarios mu omicron lambda omega iota omicron sigma. Hippodromios pi omicron delta rho omicron mu iota omicron sigma. Panamos pi alpha nu alpha mu omicron sigma. Pamboiotios pi alpha mu beta omicron iota omega tau iota omicron sigma. Demetrios delta alpha mu alpha tau rho iota omicron sigma. Alalcomnios lambda alpha lambda kappa omicron mu epsilon nu iota omicron sigma. Cretan thesmophoron. Hermios. Aman. Metachios. Agios. Dioscoros. Theodosios. Pontus. Rabanthios. Hyperbritos. Nesisios. Basilios. Delphic bucatios. Heraios. Apellios. Segonarius. Dardaphorios. Poitropius. Bysios. Artemisios. Heracleius. Botos. Ilios. Theoxinios. Epirotic Phoenikaios. Cranios. Lanotropius. Heliotropius and Holiotropius. The sun changes inclination, hence June. Macanius. Dodecatius. Eucleos. Artemisios. Sidros. Gamalios. Agrianios. Panamos, Apelios. For the months of the Antikythera mechanism, which are epirotic, and the order is known from the sequence on the dial of the Antikythera mechanism. Phi Omicron iota nu iota kappa alpha iota Omicron sigma, Phoenikeos, Corinthian name of mountain in Corinth. Kappa rho alpha nu epsilon iota Omicron sigma, Kraneos, Cranion is a region in Corinth. Lambda alpha nu Omicron tau rho Omicron pi iota Omicron sigma, Lanotropios, Heliotropius and Heliotropius. The sun changes inclination, hence June. Mu alpha chi alpha mu epsilon sigma, mu eta chi alpha nu epsilon sigma, Machaneus, mechanic, referred to Zeus, Jupiter that finds new solutions. Mu alpha chi alpha mu epsilon Omicron sigma in Corfu. Delta omega delta epsilon kappa alpha tau epsilon sigma, DODEKATEUS, delta epsilon omega delta epsilon kappa alpha tau Omicron sigma in Corfu. Epsilon kappa lambda epsilon iota Omicron sigma, EUKLEIOS. Alpha rho tau epsilon mu iota sigma iota Omicron sigma, ARTEMISIOS referred to Artemis, Diana. Alpha rho tau epsilon mu iota tau iota Omicron sigma in Corfu. Psi epsilon delta rho epsilon sigma, PSYDREUS. Gamma alpha mu epsilon iota lambda iota Omicron sigma, GAMILIOS. Gamma alpha mu eta lambda iota omega nu. 7th month of the Attic year, fashionable time for weddings. Alpha gamma rho iota alpha nu iota Omicron sigma, AGRIANIOS. Pi alpha nu alpha mu Omicron sigma, PANAMOS. Alpha pi epsilon lambda alpha iota Omicron sigma, APLLAIOS. Laconian Heresias. Apelios, Diostheus, Eleusinios, Gerastios, Artemisios, Delphinios, Phleistos, Hecatomers, Carneos, Panamos, Locris. A number of Locrian calendars are recorded, but only from the 2nd century BC. The Ozolian Locris for practical reasons also had a federal calendar which simply enumerated months from 1 to 12. The first month corresponds to Delphian book Artios, and the remaining months correspond in sequence to the regular sequence of Delphian months. Separate month names are recorded from the Locrian cities of Amphissa, Phaskos, Oeanthia, Trita and Tolophon. Macedonian. See Macedonian calendar. Dios, Apelios, Ordinios, Peritios, Distris, Xanthikos, Artemisios, Daisios, Panamos, Loios, Gorpirios, Hyperbritios, Rhodian. On the Rhodian calendar Agrianios, Badromios, Thedasios, Dalios, Artemisios, Panamos and Bolimos, Pedagetnius, Hyacinthios, Carneos, Thesmophorios, Sminthios, Diostheus, Sicilian Thesmophorios, Dalios, Agrianios, Thedasios, Artemisios, Badromios, Hyacinthios, Carneos, Panamos, Thessalian. The Thessalian calendar was standardized only in the Roman era. Previously, all polis had their own calendars based on their respective festivals. Etonios tau nu iota Omicron sigma, Panamos bi alpha nu eta mu Omicron sigma, Themistios theta epsilon mu iota sigma tau iota Omicron sigma, Agagelios gamma alpha gamma epsilon lambda iota Omicron sigma, Apollonios pi Omicron lambda nu iota Omicron sigma, Hermios rho mu alpha Omicron sigma, Lescanorios lambda epsilon sigma chi alpha nu Omicron rho iota Omicron sigma, Aphrios phi rho iota Omicron sigma, Thaios theta epsilon iota Omicron sigma, Homolarios mu omicron lambda iota omicron sigma. Hippodromios pi pi omicron delta rho omicron mu iota omicron sigma. Philikos phi epsilon lambda lambda iota kappa omicron sigma.